on YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Look at this beautiful day. Oh, it don't get better than this. It's the perfect temperature, it's the perfect humidity, just a little bit of wind. It's not like that nasty summer Florida heat that I hate. Miserable to ride in. So before I jump into this one, guys, and talk to you about the 5 things to do if you just found yourself having become the owner of a new-to-you motorcycle, go ahead, hit like, hit subscribe, and ring that bell. It really helps me out. I'm a young channel. I'm brand new to YouTube, and any interaction you guys can give me with the video helps me in the short term and in the long term. All right, y'all. Today we're talking about what to do if you just bought your first bike. And I know that sounds like a silly thing to talk about, but I remember getting my first bike home and being like, okay, now what? So here are the 5 things that at least I recommend doing if you just brought home your first motorcycle. Number 1, this one's obvious. Go ride it. Go ride that thing. You need to know your machine. You need to be comfortable with it. You need to know the area that you're riding in. You need to know everything about it. So go ride your machine as much as you can. You know, maybe you got to do a test ride before you bought it. I didn't even get to test ride mine when I bought my first bike, when I bought my Dyna. I didn't even get to do a test ride, because I made the mistake of telling them, like, yeah, I'm buying my first bike, I just got my endorsement. So I was a big, you know, blinking sign that said, do not allow this person to test ride any inventory. He has no idea what he's doing. And funnily enough, first time I went to pull out of the parking lot at the dealership I bought my first bike at, I killed it. Right there in front of the entire sales staff that were still there, because it was a Saturday, they closed an hour early, and we were there an hour after they were supposed to close. So when we left to go home, everybody else was leaving to go home. You know, the sales manager that finished the sale, the sales guy that closed the sale, the finance lady that did all the paperwork for it, everybody was still there. They watched me get on, start it up, back it out, drop it into first, and then kill it. So, that was because I did not know that bike at all. I did get home without killing it again. So, and then what did I do? Well, I rode it. I rode it a lot. So, first thing to do when you get your bike home and off, you know, out of the dealership, is just go ride it. And you don't even have to ride it anywhere in particular. Go ride your commute. Go take it out for lunch. Literally go do anything. Go put a few hundred miles under you, kind of as quick as you can, to get to know your bike, to get to know how the gearing feels, to get to know how little nuances in riding position feel. You know, you really need to know your machine, and then you need to know how your bike handles in the different parts of town where you live and where you're going to be riding it. You know, you need to sort of create a muscle memory map, if you will, of riding your bike. So number 1, go ride your bike a lot. Number 2, take a trip. Now, this does not have to be a super long trip, not at all, but the whole point is to ride roads. After you've become familiar with your bike, once you know your machine, once you know your area, then pick a place that is up to an hour away. Go there for lunch, go there for dinner, go see a museum, go sit at a park. It's really not about necessarily what you're going to do when you're going to get there. It's about the journey, and that is sickeningly cliche, but there's something about discovering new roads, following new paths on your new bike, and it's just one of the best ways to get to know your new bike. You know, once you've gotten to know it locally and taken a ride to some spots that you're really familiar with, then go take your bike around places that you're not crazy familiar with, and go burn some of those miles. You know, you'll be surprised what you learned. You'll be surprised what you can learn by just riding in unfamiliar unfamiliar territory, at all. So, number 2, go somewhere. Number 3, do something to it. Modify it. Small way, big way. At first, I would recommend a small way. Please don't go trying to replace pistons or replace headers or, try and do a cam job on it as the first sort of modification job that you would do on your bike. Please don't do that. I don't recommend it. But, buy something for it and put it on yourself. My Dyna, one of the first things I bought for it was a little windscreen, like a little fly screen that just went over the top of the headlight. And I ordered it, waited. It came from somewhere, I believe, in the UK, and it got here like 2 weeks after I ordered it. And then I sat in our apartment parking lot for, I don't know, 2 hours, just struggling and feeling like an idiot, and thinking I had bought the wrong thing and that it wasn't made for my bike, before realizing that I just had the mounting brackets on backwards and that I was just a total idiot. But there's a growing experience that comes with working on your bike by yourself. Number 4, go meet other riders. This is one of the most important aspects of being a new rider. The analogy that I'll use is one from my childhood. So my dad is a professional golfer, and I don't mean that he's on the PGA Tour and he's on TV and I grew up a millionaire because of my dad's golf performance. That's not entirely true. He used to tell me when I was growing up learning to play golf that I should go play with people who are better than me, and I never quite I didn't understand that at first. I was like, why would I play with people that are better than me? I'm just going to feel like a loser because they're going to outperform me. And he said, yeah, you could choose to see it that way, or you could play with better people, because if they're a couple of steps ahead of you and you are around them and you spend some time with them and get to know them and they get to know you, their skills and their habits and their processes will be shared with you, and then you have a chance to increase your skill set and increase what you're able to do just simply by spending that time around them and with them. And I remember finally putting that 2 and 2 together and thinking, oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense. The same thing can be said for riding, right? If you're brand new to riding, the best thing you can do, once you're familiar with your machine and once you're familiar with your local surroundings and you know pretty well the experience of riding in your own personal area, then go ride with some experienced riders. If you've got a Harley dealership locally that hosts a Harley Owners Group chapter, a hog owner, or a hog chapter, they do rides. A lot of good chapters will do, between 4 and 8 rides a month. Get on Facebook, find their page, find their website, shoot them an email, maybe shoot them a text, whatever their preferred form of communication is. Just ask about the next ride. Let them know you just bought your first bike and you've been riding for however long you've been riding, and you want to get some experience group riding. It's a great way to get connected with people that have been riding for, any amount of time more than you, and, they're going to know more than you, they've been to more places than you, they've ridden more miles than you, and there's a lot that can be learned from just spending time with people who are at least a few steps ahead of you, doing the thing that you want to do and do better. Number 5, this is the last one, invest in good gear. If you're buying a motorcycle, you should also already have or buy with it a good helmet. And I'm talking a full face helmet. Might as well start with 100% coverage, and then if you decide you're more comfortable with a half helmet or an open face, something that's not a full face helmet, get that later. But invest in a helmet, get yourself some good leather and armored gloves, and then a good pair of riding boots. I would say it's sort of the basic gear package. Cover your head, cover your hands, take care of your legs and feet, always ride, you know, with at least jeans on if you don't have riding pants. And, you know, they say all the gear all the time. I am wearing a leather vest, which if I were to go sledding on my chest or my back would certainly provide some abrasion resistance and prevention. I am not wearing sleeves. Sorry, Mom. So probably, you know, I'm not all the way, you know, I don't have all the gear all this time, but I do own all the gear. I do own chaps. I am wearing riding boots. I do own 3 different riding jackets with varying degrees of insulation and abrasion protection. So do not skirt number 5. You need to have good riding gear. Alright guys, so those are the 5 things to do if you just found yourself having become the owner of a motorcycle. If you haven't already, hit like and subscribe. Please do that. It helps me out a lot. And I would love to know if you have been riding for a while, or maybe you just come out of that brand new to riding phase. Go ahead and drop me a comment letting me know what were the best things that you did when you were a brand new rider that really helped you get acclimated to riding into this new aspect of the lifestyle. And maybe you've got something that you didn't do that now you wished you would have done. Go ahead and leave that in the comments too. It's good for me to know, and also for any other brand new riders or about to be brand new riders who are checking out this video, you know, any advice that they can get from the comments is certainly going to be helpful for them. That's it for me. I'm the two-wheel teacher. Y'all ride safe. I'll see you on the road.